Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another unboxing and review. Today it's Ahsoka Tano from the Mandalorian. I'm so glad to have her here now, just in time for the Ahsoka series. This is the DX21, which means it's the version with Grogu. So first, as usual, let's talk about the box. This is a DX figure, which means it's not exactly your usual type of Star Wars box. On the outside though, it is. It's a black box with a promotional picture of the figure there and the Star Wars logo. For the Mandalorian figures, you have an orange brownish colored strip with another picture of the figure there and another one there. Though when you remove the first part of the box, you get this. A stylized picture of the figure. It's really beautiful. And on the back, the usual product information. The box opens on the side, and there you have another picture. That's really nice. And when you remove this, you get the figure. The DX boxes are really fancy. It's a nice change from the usual Star Wars box. So let's open this and first talk about the accessories. In terms of accessories, she has some good stuff, but for DX, I think it is a little light. This is exactly the type of display base that I love, one that represents an environment. This one recreates the Forest of Corvus. There's some rocks, a tree log, a tree trunk with some branches. They made something really nice. However, I feel like they should have given two possibilities for the stand to be inserted, at the front or at the back. But then again, you can display the figure and remove the stand altogether. Like this. Be careful with the stand, as this one is a dynamic stand. I'll drop a link to my video on how to avoid damaging your figures with dynamic stands in the description down below. As for the hands, she only has 5 hands. 2 open hands, 2 hands to hold the lightsabers, and only 1 fist hand. I don't understand why they didn't include a second fist hand. They could have at least done that. It's not even what I consider to be the bare minimum of hands. I didn't expect that from a DX. Then she has her 2 lightsabers, one big, one small. They are nicely sculpted with a silver paint. Here Hot Toys has done a big improvement. They included these little tips for when you display the lightsabers without the blades. This way you don't see a big hole, instead you see something accurate when the lightsabers are turned off. I was so surprised to see this when I opened the box. As usual with lightsabers, there are also the normal blades and the action blades. The white looks good here. There is also a lantern with Ahsoka to recreate some of the scenes from Chapter 13, The Jedi. This is a cool accessory to include, and if you want you can even put it on a tree branch, it holds well. I like this. As for Grogu, just like the one that came with Luke, he has an additional pair of hands. Finally, we get a background of the Forest of Corvus. As I always say, it's nice to have a background included with his figures. Personally, I won't use this one as I plan to display Ahsoka next to my Luke, who already has his big background. So now, let's take a look at Grogu and then we'll talk about Ahsoka. It is the same Grogu that came with Luke. He has the moving arms, the same head sculpt, the head can move, and the additional pair of hands. So if you already have a look with this Grogu, this one may seem redundant. Personally, I bought the DX with Grogu because of the display base. I do prefer this base compared to the one that comes with the DX20. My first thought seeing this figure is that she looks amazing. Hot Toys has done a wonderful job recreating Ahsoka's outfit in figure format. As a big fan of the character, this was one of my most anticipated figures, and having it here, I am not disappointed at all. I love this. The feet are two separate pieces, which means it allows articulation. The articulation range for the feet is limited, but it's still good enough for action poses. The pants have a nice pattern, there's a lot of details on this outfit. The strings on the side, like this one, are actually made of plastic. It is a good choice to have used plastic because with time it won't fray like the fabric. This piece that you have on each side is made of fabric, so it doesn't limit the leg articulation. These have a different pattern than the pants. As usual with Hot Toys, it's all about the details. The belt is entirely made of plastic. It's a bit like Fennec Shand and her boots and gauntlets. It was made of plastic, but it felt like pleather visually. So that's great. Ahsoka has seamless shoulders, which means you have to be careful with posing. The instruction sheet mentions not to leave the figure in the same action pose for a long period of time. That is the problem with seamless. It looks great, but it's a problem for poses. Personally, considering where it is, I think it was the right choice to use seamless. It definitely looks better than seeing a shoulder joint. Just like the recent Wonder Woman figure, the material used here is silicone. So this is a much better material than previous figures that used seamless. Just by looking at it, you can tell it's different. And when you touch the material, you can really tell it's really superior to what we've got before. It will definitely last longer. But I still wouldn't recommend letting her in the same action pose for a long period of time. Though not the whole arm is made of silicone, the forearm uses plastic. There have been some problems with the joints between the plastic and the silicone. For some people, the joint was too stiff. Solutions given by these people was to remove the fabric and use a hairdryer on the joint to loosen it up. After that, it is supposed to work. Personally, I don't have a problem with joints, so I didn't have to use that technique. Though, if you encounter this problem, it seems that the hairdryer technique works. The use of plastic for the forearms means that you can still slightly pose the forearm as long as it doesn't put pressure on the silicone. All in all, I think Hot Toys has nailed it with this figure. They perfectly recreated her. You can display Ahsoka like this, or use the cape. Ahsoka looks great with this cape. I love the fabric used here. It feels old, it has a Gandalf vibe to it, which is who Ahsoka kinda is during this time period. You can also display her with the hood on. The cape uses a button to attach it. It's not the best solution. With time, the sewing will break. I would have preferred magnets. Because of the Leku, the head articulation is limited. She can look like this. As for the rest of the body, she can move the arms like this, like this, like this. Also this way. She can move her torso. Then you can move the legs like this, like this, like this, this way, and you can also move the feet. The Headsculpt is another beautiful work by Hot Toys. It was made by Yeon Sun Jeon and painted by Chi Hong. You can definitely recognize the likeness to Rosario Dawson here. By the way, she is the perfect live-action Ahsoka. The likeness is there, it looks great, but it's not totally perfect. It misses a little something. The cherry on the cake for me is the separate rolling eyeballs. I love it when Hot Toys includes this feature, and I couldn't be happier to have it on Ahsoka. So now let's see some poses. Ahsoka Tano from The Mandalorian is a fantastic figure. She will be a fine addition to your collection. The DX21 comes with a super cool forest display base, plus you get another Grogu figure. As for the Headsculpt, you can definitely recognize Rosario Dawson there. It is a great Headsculpt. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye!